Feels so good to be back in that winning, you know, how was your Monday, Harvey? I mean, it's totally different than last week's, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, it was great, man. If you can picture, the Rock, you know how he does his little eyebrow, opening the door to your office, walking in, smelling the air like the Rock. Yeah, that's what I felt like walking into work today. So yeah, I had a little chippiness to me.
Hey, what a Monday, man. And you know what? Going forward, that will be what I ask you going forward, right? On these Mondays in particular. But let's not waste any time, man. Let's talk about it. I mean, yesterday it was a phenomenal day. I mean, not only that, but man, we our lives have been just amazing. We got our day ones, you know what I'm saying? And then we got people that are chiming in. We had fun. Yesterday we went live twice. So we highly encourage you make sure you get them subscriptions, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can keep posted, man, and see when we actually go on. If you actually click turn on notifications, it'll tell you that we just went live right now, right? But let's get right into this. Let's get right into this game, man. I mean, overall, what a win, right? 81 Vikings. I mean, I felt good. You feel good, right? I know you felt really good with this one. I mean,
For sure,
we were
man.
talking, we were talking pregame, right? I mean, since what Friday?
Yeah, it
The
felt
vibes
like
were
forever, right? It
it
felt like
did, man.
forever, man.
On Friday, we're
No,
like, "Man, I feel good."
yeah. I think you said it. Just the feeling, right, of everybody knowing that every player let somebody down in that locker room from that loss. I think we felt it. I think they were a lot more focused, and I like what Kerr said at the end of the game when they break him down at the end of the game. He said we need to take we trust the process. So I think they're taking this very seriously, like anybody does, right? But I think that loss really stung them, man. And I don't think they want to feel like that again. And it's going to be very scary if they play like this every week. I'm just telling you. But the
Hey,
idea is to be consistent, Jerry.
no, yes. Let's get right into the game that we're talking about. Statistically wise, yesterday, we did the kickoff show. We gave our predictions. I think you were pretty close, but it was very lopsided score. We
Yeah.
weren't expecting a complete dominant win like that, right? It was almost a shutout at one point. But Dak Prescott, 22 for 25, right? 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 rushing attempts by Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott. That is the balance that we had been talking about. We saw with the Packers, it was only 22 to Tony Pollard and 5. I mean, that still doesn't equal 30, but it didn't stop there. We saw Dak, and we some people were commenting when we're going to see Dak more involved in the run, and you know what? They answered the bill, and like you said, last week we broke apart the coaching staff, talk about the adjustments that they were making on offense and on defense, and it was great to see this, right? Then Tony Pollard got involved in the passing game, man. He actually was the leader in pass catches. He had 6 receptions, 109 passing yards, and of course he had two touchdowns. So before we go into the defensive stats, I mean, overall, wow, what a game. With that, what do you think, Harvey? I mean,
Um,
overall,
I mean, you got to look at it, and we've been saying it and preaching it. You have to run the ball. I think that's the main idea of this offense is run the ball. That's our identity. We have two great backs. They balance each other out. They had, I think, total it was like close to 40 attempts, right? I know they both had 30, and then Dak and I think Malik Davis had some, but
yeah,
I think we had
Dak
close
had
to
3,
40.
Malik had 7. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that
Yeah, I
right
mean,
there.
it was
That's
close to 40. Yeah.
yeah,
So, I
40 all
mean,
there.
that's what you want. That is the recipe. Nothing against Dak. That's our mainstay. That's our recipe. And like I said, it opens up the linebackers. If you see some of those passes that Dak was throwing, those linebackers were nowhere to be found because they had to respect the run game. So I think overall is a great plan. I think Dak looked pretty good going in through his reads. Um, I think he plays better in this kind of offense, but consistency, right? I keep saying that. We got to see it again for another week. This is just 1 week. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited.
Well said, man. And I will say this about that CD Lamb catch. I mean, I think that my one question to you, right? Because we still have some Super Coopers out there. Why? Like, why, guys? You know,
I don't.
do you feel okay? Answer me this question right now, Harvey. Can Super Cooper Rush make that pass to CD Lamb right before the halftime? And we're talking about the one where it's a head scratcher and very questionable NFL officiating. You need to answer some questions, man. I mean, these GMs, these coaches, these players, man, they get put underneath the microscope when they lose, man. What about when you guys make a bad call
Yeah,
like that? You guys could have cost us. And let's talk about that real quick. Brett Maher, 4 for 4. His longest was 60 yards. He should have got credit for two.
he should have, man. He should have. He
But
got robbed.
let's get back to that first question. Could can
Okay, so
can Cooper Rush make that throw to CD Lamb on the money to put us in field goal range?
I think he can. I think he can make the throw. I don't know about
That
rolling out to that
that
side and making the
specific,
throw.
that specific
That
throw. That
specific throw, no, I don't think so. Not. I think you have to get there in order to make the throw, right? I don't think he gets there. I think he might be able to do the throw, but not get there in that position the way Dak rolled out that way and throw the ball. I don't think so. But that's it's everybody has something to say about Dak, right? And then you have a
everybody.
great game, and but at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. He's our quarterback. You're gonna have up and downs, especially you gotta think everybody gets so rational. He hasn't played very much this year.
He
That's what we
hasn't.
got to remember. He didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play very much in the regular season. He's just getting a rhythm, man. And he looked good. I'm telling you, run the ball, and I think he's gonna be great, man. But yeah, I don't think Cooper makes that throw. To be honest, Jerry.
All right, great. Moving along, man. Let's because I mean we still got a little bit to go, right? Because I mean, like you said, it's gonna be a short week for us.
Yep.
But we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. Defensively, man. I mean, defensively, this is exactly the type of defense that we expect. Or this is the defense that we had earlier in the year, right? And then for whatever reason, you know, we kind of got away from that. But I mean, I will say this: we saw a little bit more of a disciplined defense, and look what we got out of it. Got J-Ron Curse, Dante Fowler, D Law. Each one of them had one sack in the game. Dorrance Armstrong and Michael Parsons each had two sacks in this game. And I mean, wow. I mean, we really set ourselves as far as we are number one in the NFL as far as a team with sacks, total sacks as a team. I mean, was there anything in particular that really stuck out to you in this game of the defense?
I think the biggest thing I wasn't surprised by the sacks. If you, as you can see, was it my bold prediction? One of my bold predictions about the
Michael?
sacks or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what
I
wasn't
think you even
surprising was the sacks.
right?
I said five. I think I said five,
That was right.
but what doesn't surprise me is the sacks, right? That doesn't surprise me. We've been kind of doing that all year. What surprised me was how well the defensive back side of the defense held up. Like that was we actually played really well considering all the weapons that they had. So that was kind of surprise to me. And I think I called out, I'm not gonna say I called out Diggs, but I said, hey, you're gonna pay the man, right? As Dion Primetime would say, pay the man,
Let's
right?
do it,
Pay the
baby. Yeah.
man.
You
Let's
did
do
say
it.
it.
Let's
Yep.
see. Let's see if Diggs can follow that guy around, the guy for the other team, and if he can hold it down. And I think we saw some of that. And I'm telling you, Jerry, if this continues and Diggs play the way he plays and shuts down the other receiver, this is not good, man. I'm telling you, NFL is not good. So we'll see, man. But I was shocked by the secondary. I think they played very well.
Give it up to Parsons. He started it by stripping Kirk Cousins. I mean, yeah, I mean that's what you need, right? Somebody to
Yeah,
set the tone. And I think that we found out last year that we got the right tone setter right there in Michael Parsons. So you're exactly right with that one. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off of that, it's insane to see that we can actually be proud and taking pride that Trayvon Diggs is not overhyped. Trayvon Diggs is actually a corner. I'm gonna live right now. I mean, I like the way he's playing better than most corners right now in the NFL, especially the ones that are getting paid that big time money, like Jalen Ramsey. The list goes on and on. Jair Alexander, to each his own, right? But I will tell you this: I like the way Trayvon Diggs plays. I mean, he has the softest hands. He almost had that pick, man. He
he
was just
did.
so
He
close,
did.
man. And it was an acrobatic pick, but you can hear. I mean, even Tony talked about his story as far as how he became a corner. I don't know if you guys got to see a little snippet of him and Patrick Peterson swapping jerseys. That was just so beautiful to see, right? And for him to
Yeah.
say, that he was a big motivation for him to make the switch to corner and wear the number 7 and all good stuff. So it's great to see, the NFL can bring players together, get them all around. When it's time to give props, they are able to give each other props, and that's amazing, man. But overall, getting back on that, I mean, it does feel good, man, and you can see like some players starting to carve their way into the defense and offense. Offensively, let's go ahead and give Damone Clark some credit, man. I mean, he didn't look like a rookie out there. I mean, he looked like he was making some smart.
No.
He made some smart plays. I mean, there's some things that, of course, everybody can clean up on defense, but DeMar Clark did step up. We did see Michael Parsons did play some linebackers too. I mean, I think off that strip stack, I think he was playing linebacker in that position. So I mean, ultimately, what I saw on defense was a more of a disciplined approach, right? Not somebody overachieving trying to make a play and leaving their assignment behind. Because if you look at it, it was just a complete. I mean, they broke a 39, what was it, passing touchdown streak by Kirk Cousins. They broke that
Yeah.
streak for Kirk Cousins, and man, you could tell. I mean, even the body language of Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson's body language, Dalvin Cook. I mean, Dalvin Cook got his, he got to eat, but he didn't get to eat like the way he fit, like the way he's been feasting on defenses. But I mean, overall, that body language just showed that they were actually beat, man. They got beat. And that right there shows you, because a lot of people were right there saying Vikings are it's gonna be between people were already anointing the Eagles and the Vikings to be in the conference championship, the NFC conference championship. So when we look at this, you can already see narratives being started. Oh, the Vikings are frauds. There were pretenders the entire time. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So you big time networks, you guys can keep that narrative, man. It's a total different story. What we saw, yes or no, Harvey?
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. But going back to the comment that was put up, right? Give it up to Parsons, right? So we give it up to him, man. I applaud, right? And this is
I
the
do
reason
too.
I say this. The first play of the game, it just looked like Micah Parsons had all that built up all week. And it's almost like, those little kids that somebody steals their toy and they start running after the person that's got their toy. Dude,
Yeah,
it almost like he beatlined towards that Kirk Cousins, man. Like he was just building that whole thing the whole week. And that honestly, that just set the tone. That set the tone for that whole defense and that
I
whole
did.
team. Like, hey, I'm not playing today. Like I'm coming to play hard, and but you got to stop me, man. And so I will give it up to him. But like you said, yeah, overall everybody played well, and all these networks and media people saying, well, the Minnesota Vikings weren't that good. Come on, man, they're 8-1.
8-1.
8 and
I
1.
mean,
And you had Kirk Cousins on a plane with chains on, probably as much as a damn plane.
I saw somebody
Like, come
tag me
on,
on East
man.
West. I saw somebody tag me on East West football, and it actually was me and you. We came out on East West football on a. It was a special, and I believe we were saying about the Eagles, right? Like Eagles are they're not who we think they are. They're beatable. That's what I was going to. And believe it or not, I was tagged today by East West football. Somebody commented, you cannot blame a team for having the schedule they have, but instead give that team the credit for beating the teams on the schedule they have. I guess that could be said for this. The same thing could be said for the Vikings, right? And so I'm not calling that guy out. Everybody's. I'm just saying, like it just shows you why don't we see more people protect the Vikings in this case? I mean, 8-1 is a very difficult thing in the NFL nowadays. I mean, look at us, 7-3. Now the Vikings are 8-2. So it's making the race is getting we're really getting close to the end of the season, right? And we got right now, shoot, man, we got this is gonna be a very quick turnaround Thursday, Thanksgiving, when we get to, hopefully a lot of you get to fill your bellies up. But anyways, we got to play the Giants. Now, let's get right into it. How about that, Harvey? Let's get right into the Giants thing. Oh, first, want to give credit where credit's due. Mike McCarthy. Actually, this win was his 150th as a actual head coach in the NFL. So shout out Mike McCarthy, or you know what? I think I have that.
Hey,
Yeah,
stadium.
man. Oh, good job, Mike McCarthy. Hey, hat, hats off to you. You've definitely done a great job as far as getting this team ready. I mean, we saw the adversity at the beginning of the year, and look at you, 8-1 Vikings. That's a great way to get your 150th win.
He's
But
still getting it though, Jerry. He's still getting it if he loses. I'm just
oh
saying.
yeah, oh yeah,
But
we're gonna
thanks.
still hear
But
this.
thanks, Mike.
Hey, Mike McCarthy, we don't make the playoffs. Everybody's gonna be saying this.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
It never gets old. But anyways,
Never does.
so getting back to it, let's talk about the matchup we have up ahead, Harvey. We got the Giants. Now the Giants they played the Lions, the Detroit Lions, and Detroit Lions had been struggling, man. They had been struggling to get some wins, but it's not the same Lions as what we thought, right? They really, I guess, they helped us out. But let's take a look at what happened to the Detroit Lions in this case. They were able to lopside their passing. It's their passing, the entire passing scheme. They were able to completely make it one sided. Saquon only rushed for 15 rushing attempts. Daniel Jones had 7 rushing attempts, but Daniel Jones passed 44 times. He did pass for 341 yards. He had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. In that game, Wandale Robinson, who I believe is, I believe he actually was hurt in that game, but we can get you more clarification on that in just a bit. But anyways, he was the leading reception leader, which is crazy to think. Out of all the wide receivers that the Giants have, Wandale, which is I think he was a 3rd round pick, he ended up being the leader with nine of those receptions. But looking at that, look at the balance: 44 passing attempts, and you only got Saquon going 15 times. It looks like the NFL has found a formula to stopping these offenses from operating on all cylinders. So let's talk about this Giants game. I mean, we'll do a little touch up, right? Because we haven't really been able to deep dive and see what's going on with these Giants. But what do you think about the matchup on Thursday?
I, you know, it almost feels like Green Bay again. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of those things, man. This is an easy win. We should win this game. Number one, it's an NFC East rival. Number two, it feels like Green Bay again. But I think, man, I feel like this is a different team. After winning against Minnesota, I think they understand. And like I said again, Chris said, Trust the process. We need to do the process. And I think they understand what's at stake here. Especially, you got to think the Eagles almost lost to the Colts, and the Eagles haven't looked that good recently. So they look like a team that's beatable. Now that may be because their tight ends out. I don't know. That's a big part of their offense, but we will see. This thing's going to come down to the wire, and I think these players understand that every game, obviously, every game counts. They understand it's real. But the way this race is going, they understand that everything, every game, every snap, everything is important, man. And it's in front of them to win. And I think they realize they didn't understand how good they were until Sunday, when all they were clicking on all cylinders and everybody was doing their job the way they're supposed to. This is the type of team they can be. And it's scary, man. And I'm sure they're like, man, can you believe this is how we play? If we play disciplined football, this is what you have when they play disciplined football. And it could be scary, man. We'll see what they have against the Giants. But if they play like this against the Giants, you might see another 40 burger or 50 burger. I'm just saying.
And that it's just a primer, right? Because we haven't been able to break them down. Tomorrow we'll be able to get more into depth. We'll hear. We want to bring out the audio from the other clips from, of course, Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, just to kind of see how they feel. But I'll tell you this: I don't get the Green Bay vibes. In fact, I think the Cowboys have their number. All-time record against the Giants is 72. 72 wins, 46 losses. I mean, two ties against the Giants all time. So I'm not trying to make it one of those words, a Green Bay thing where I say, oh, it's a win. But I will say this: it's a really young team. We already got the advantage over them by beating them there at Gillette Stadium in New York. So this is going to be a home game for us, and this will be a one of those games where it's somebody we're very familiar with. And obviously, the way the Lions handled them, obviously, if the Cowboys take this same approach and we take it to Thursday, it's looking good. But of course, we're going to break that down. Let's get into some context here, right? Of course, we said Mike McCarthy, 150 total wins. We already talked about this Vikings game. I think the overreaction show was amazing. Is the coaching?
I was going to point out, Jerry. I just realized something that I really wasn't paying attention to. That's kind of interesting. The Cowboys play at home the next 3 weeks.
I like our odds.
I like that, man. That means we don't have to travel. We stay focused at home. That's interesting, man.
We had 3 away games.
Yeah. So that's very interesting, man.
The turnaround from Sunday to Thursday, I mean, they've got 4 days to get ready. I mean, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But no, great point out. But I will say this also before we get into the next segment. Wow, we saw Jason Peters at left tackle. I will say this, man. Jason Peters looked good, man. I mean, he looked good, especially on the passing. I got to break it down a little bit more, see what needs to be worked. But we saw Tyler Smith at left guard. We had been teasing it, man. If you're not following us on our social medias, you're missing out on the best content in the planet. I'll tell you this much right now. I'd like to hear anybody that's seen, maybe a Facebook reel or maybe a TikTok, right? Because we did talk about that we were available on Instagram, on Facebook Reels, and on TikTok. We do have a Twitter. The Twitter is relatively new, but we're getting into that space too, But let's get right into it. This is my question to you: is this coaching staff ready to continue with the balance on offense and defense, right? And to add to that, right, just to kind of very clarify this question, is this approach offensively, defensively, is this enough to finish off the season with the wins needed to make the playoffs? So with this approach that we took against the Vikings, offensively, defensively, right? How long can we sustain it? And to add to that, will this get us the wins that we need to get into playoffs? It's a great question.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. And this is why I say that. Defensively, yes, I think the game plan that they're going with will work 100%. What will not work, because it's this is a specific team, right? Minnesota. You cannot have Tony Pollard as your leading receiver every game. If
But
you
it
do
is
that,
nice to see him though.
it is. So that's an added bonus, right? We can still do that. But if we continue down that road, that's not going to work in the NFL. These receivers have to get open and make plays, a lot more plays, just like Tony Pollard did. In order for us to continue on and be consistent and be better for the playoffs, our receivers have to step up even more in order to win these games, these tough games that are going to come up. So, yes, don't get me wrong. I'm blessed. We won. I love it, right? But if Pollard is our main receiver, I don't think it's good when you start playing these better teams. So, I mean, that's my opinion on it, Jerry. Hopefully, they're hearing me and they make some game plans for these receivers. But I'm just saying that's my honest opinion on it.
Well, to give you before I give you the follow up question, obviously we saw some news, especially after the game yesterday. I mean, we talked about it in the overreaction, and today it's getting very clear. Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ. I mean, he's terrified us when he was with the Giants. What do you think, man? You want to make a prediction now, or you want to wait a little bit till Thursday?
I don't know, man. I'm hearing some rumors that he might be there for the game. I'm not sure, but I know Stephen Jones came out on 105 The Fan, and they asked him, I think they asked him some question, but he's like, I can't get into the to those kind of questions because it's a strategic at this time. So what does that tell you? And I'll go back to saying what Deion Sanders said on an interview and said, "Hey, what do you think about OBJ going there? And what would the conversation be like with OBJ? Him talking. He's like, first of all, number one, Jerry Jones. I know Jerry Jones. He's already got a plan and he's already talked to him. So I don't know why you're talking about what do you think he would do? He's already had that conversation, just so you know. So I don't want to give my prediction, man. We'll see what happens. But I'm for the safeguard of the Dallas Cowboys, I just hope he doesn't get 20 million a year. That would be horrible. I think
I
it
will,
needs to be an incentive based deal. But we'll see.
I will make my prediction. I will say this: if the Cowboys win on Thursday, he will be a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, that's just my prediction. As far as the money goes, I trust Stephen Jones. I mean, look at it. I mean, we were talking right before we went on. We were talking about look at this, Dorrance Armstrong. Compare the stats, right? I mean, I believe it's 4 games to 10 games,
Hey
and if you
Jerry,
look,
why are you doing that to that man, man? I
he
got
broke
you.
my
I got
he broke hey
you.
man, he broke my heart, man. I wanted to keep him, man. I mean,
Jerry's still feeling it.
man, it's hard, especially when your team drafts that
Yeah,
player and takes the time to groom him. And like Byron Jones, man, he's a sellout too. I mean, he wasn't rated at the top corner until his final what was it, final season and a half with us.
yeah.
And man, he just took the money and ran. And look at him. I mean, he's literally he's obsolete. Like, I mean, if he's I don't know, is he doing good? Is he even playing? That's my question, right?
I
But I
think
just
he's
tell
been
you,
out, but yeah.
but yeah, for the most part, he's been out. But I'm just saying, just shows you sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side, and I think that's truthful for life in general. But compare the stats between Dorrance Armstrong, Dorrance Armstrong and Randy Gregory. Dorrance Armstrong's killing it, man. I mean, absolutely killing it. He's played number one. He's been healthier, which we can count. We can count on Dorrance to be there. And number two is dang, Dorrance is trying to keep up with Micah. He's right there he's right there, man. Micah had 2, so that brings him up to what, 10 sacks, and now Dorrance has 7 on the season. So it just says I trust Stephen Jones now more so than I did when we when we made these decisions or as they made these decisions, right? To be politically correct, because TikTok, you're vicious, but you know, I will say you got to trust Steven Jones. So whatever contract he gives, I know it's going to be friendly for the team and one for Odell Beckham Jr. And I do think that if you do bring an Odell Beckham Jr., it'll add definitely an element that we have to, our teams have, other defenses have to respect the Cowboys offense. So exciting times right now. And I think, my prediction is no, my prediction is falling on the Cowboys win against the Giants on Thanksgiving. But let's go ahead and so the question, of course, was we asked that question, right? And I will say this. I have a follow-up question to that because I will tell you this. If we take this approach each week, offensively, defensively, the Dallas Cowboys will win out. That is my prediction because that's exactly how you do it. Minnesota Vikings are probably one of the better teams in the NFC, and we took care of business there. Eagles are next, and I cannot wait to that matchup. But to follow up with that question, what teams do you feel uneasy about left? Because our schedule right now, that as we speak, Giants this Thursday, and we got the Colts December 4th. It's going to be actually a late game, Sunday 7. It's going to be the game of the week, I guess, 7:30 game. Then you got the Texans at Cowboys also, and then of course Cowboys at Jags, Eagles at Cowboys. We get that one at home. Cowboys at Titans, Cowboys at Commanders. So out of those games and out of what we said, right? With this approach, which games do you feel that we should be on our make sure that we're on our P's and Q's, right?
Before we started the show, I really thought it was going to be the Eagles and Titans. But now looking at it and thinking about the teams, I'd have to say the Eagles and the Commanders. The
Is there a
Eagles and
team that you would
Commanders.
want to throw in there?
Probably, man, it's between the Titans and Colts. Because let me tell you what, man, Jeff Saturday's got those Colts playing. We're a way better team, but man, he's got them playing, and they almost beat the Eagles.
They did.
So,
But I'll tell you this: with the Colts, if we can shut down the run, Matt Ryan's a
yeah,
statue, and,
no,
and
you're right. You're
Michael
right.
Parsons. Michael Parsons did
I'd
too. I'll
I'd
tell you
have
this
to
much.
the two I have to say is Eagles and Titans. Those are
I,
the two get.
I think it should come down to, or my question should have been, who are the two toughest teams left to play? And I'm going to give it to the Titans because they're a very tough team to play, but
Yeah.
they have a lot of uncertainty at the quarterback position. Are you ready to trust Ryan Tannehill? Because I'll tell you this: if we can stop Derrick Henry, that's it, man. That's it. That's it. The Titans are obsolete. I mean, their defense can try to stop us, but they got to stop. They got to stop our passing attempt. But like I said, I mean, they got to stop our rushing offense. But if they can't stop our rushing offense, I do feel good. If we have to shoot, if it has to be a shootout between Ryan Tannehill
Shootout.
and
Yeah.
and so I will say this, Eagles, we got to respect them. They were able to, fill some voids in their defense, a week ago. So we'll see. But like I said, I'm going with my prediction. I like that. So let's go ahead and take an early look at the injury report right now. Anthony Barr, he was out with a hamstring. That's the linebacker that Damone Clark has been filling in for. He did not participate today. Terrell Basham has an illness. He did not participate. Trayvon Diggs, he was listed with an ankle injury, but he was a full participant. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, a knee. He was limited. Dante Fowler, he did not participate with an illness. Jonathan Hankins, also with an illness, did not participate. Kelvin Joseph, illness, did not participate. DeMarcus Lawrence, foot, did not participate. Osa Ozugidua knee was limited, and Michael Parsons knee ankle did not participate. Michael needs a he needs a break, man. But I'll tell you this: that's the Cowboys. On the Giants side, Daniel Bellinger, their tight end, an eye, he did not participate. Josh Zidua, offensive line, he has a neck issue, did not participate. Joe Feliciano, another offensive line neck injury, also did not participate.
Ooh.
Adoree Jackson, knee, did not participate. Richie James, who has been their actual leading wide receiver, he has a knee injury. He did not participate. Fabian Moreau, defensive back, oblique, did not participate. Evan Neal, offensive lineman, a neck injury. Wow, man, they're really bad. They're really hurt at the and on their offensive line with these neck injuries. He was limited. Look at this, Tyree Phillips, another offensive lineman with another neck injury, did not participate. And defensive back Jason Pinnock with the jaw was limited. So right now, that's the early actual injury report for both teams right there. I mean, right now, the way it looks like, it's that time of the year. Both, I mean, pretty much all the NFL's banged up right now. But I mean, what a way, what a game. Whew. Harvey, anything else, man?
The only bad thing I don't look forward to is I'm happy and I'm don't get it wrong with Thanksgiving coming. I'm blessed that we're gonna play on Thanksgiving, but that means we gotta wait 10 days, man.
True.
That's the only bad part about it. We gotta wait 10 days to play the Colts, man.
But
But
I'll tell you,
no, you know
I'll tell
what?
you this. You gotta look at the glass half full, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
mean,
true. We get to rest.
get to rest and we get to see the rest of the NFL, which allows
Yeah.
us to get ready and be mentally prepared and understand that some teams are going to step up, some coaching staffs are going to step up, some teams are going to get their players back healthy, including the Cowboys. So a lot can happen, man. But I'll tell you this: an OBJ signing, woo, baby, that would end that week in a great way. But anyways, go
You
ahead.
said Thursday, huh? You said Thursday.
Yeah, I think Thursday after the whoever wins.
I'll believe you if I see an OBJ sighting at the game because you know it's gonna happen. If he's in the building, you know that camera's gonna show on OBJ. So
Let's do
at
it,
that
baby.
point, if I see OBJ in the stadium, then I gotta say, man, you know what? Jerry might be right. Jerry might be right. OBJ might not leave that building without a contract, man. But
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it.
yeah. So, man, the Giants, right? The injuries. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think we beat them the first time, but
Yeah.
I just think the Cowboys are just way too talented, man. And the way they're playing, if they play again like they played against Minnesota, the Giants don't have a chance. We'll shut down the running game, and Daniel Jones is just not. He's another golf and Kirk Cousins, man. He gets he gets that twitch or whatever. He feels pressure coming, man. It's not good. He's almost like he closes. I'm not gonna say he closes his eyes and throws the ball, but it's pretty damn close. Might as well. But I don't think I think it's over, man. I think we're just way too talented.
What I do see with him is that he actually will escape the pocket and run away. But I'll tell you this: with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Damone Clark out there, he ain't gonna get very far. So it's gonna be a different twist. I mean, it's good to be pumped up. Take pride, man. Be an obnoxious Cowboy fan too, man, because you know what? We get a lot of hate. Whether we win or lose, they're gonna hate you, man. And you know what? Good luck to whoever's playing right now. But may the best win. I mean, what is the score right now, Harvey? I don't even care about that
I
game.
think 14-10.
Who's
Fourteen
up?
ten Niners. Niners are
Niners
up.
are. They better be
Yeah.
up. Their defense is supposed to be one of the top. So it is what it is. But hey, that's it for us, right? I mean, how should we end it?
Hold on. We got one more thing, Jerry.
What's that?
Don't we have a giveaway?
Oh yeah, just a reminder.
Yeah.
Friendly
Tell the people.
So this is True Brand. Of course, the cap I have on, you'll see it with the cap I have
True
on
brand.
right now. True Brand. Uh, these are very difficult to get your hands on. Of course, they do release. They'll re-release. But you just gotta be on your. You gotta have the alert out. But if you're really interested in this cap, brand new, never been worn. This is the next giveaway. Of course, Jose, it's actually Joe Reels. He actually won in that one. So this is the next cap giveaway. And that one we will be announcing the winner for that one. We're gonna give people plenty of time to get the subscriptions up on YouTube. But I believe that giveaway we had this. I said we needed more than a couple of weeks to give everybody enough time. So I believe it's against the Texans. So that's a big one
Yep.
too, especially for us.
Yeah.
Anybody from
The
Texas, I
showdown.
know sometimes, especially if you're from the RGV, it's a little bit broken. You got some people that are either Tennessee Titan fans or Houston Texans fans, and then everybody else is just Dallas Cowboy fan. Oh well, we do got a couple of
Hey,
Steelers and
Jerry,
we're.
do they still do the Governor's Cup? Is that still the game or not?
Oh no, I don't know, man.
We
Gotta
gotta
look that
find
up.
that out for next show, man.
For sure, tomorrow we'll have that answer for you. But
For sure.
if you like that cap and you see me, I mean, I literally wear it. In fact, True Brand, you guys need to make sure that Harvey and I get our caps going forward, exclusively caps. But I will say this: if you enjoy that cap, and you love the Dallas Cowboys content, make sure you're subscribed. Turn on the notification; it tells you when we go live, so you don't even have to be checking. You do that on YouTube, and going forward, we're gonna start transitioning. I know we do this on Facebook. I know it's easy to find us on Facebook. Of course, we're gonna share it on Facebook when we're live on YouTube, but eventually we're gonna make the move over to YouTube. So that's why we're saying get the subscriptions open. Make sure you guys have everything. Make yourself known publicly, right? Because the thing is, we had a lot of users. It didn't give us the name, so you gotta make yourself public so we can at least see your email address and put you on the list and be able to properly make sure that it's across the board. And who knows, maybe we can even share it live on the air as far as all the names on there. But we do appreciate all those that subscribe. And man, that's it. Thank you for those that tuned in, and for those that will check this out later. Thank you, man. It's a great show. I loved it. Ari, anything else you want to add?
No, man, we just appreciate everybody. Very blessed. Thank you for joining us. And if you don't join us later, make sure you subscribe, man. And that's all I got, man. Just blessed.
Man, have a good one, guys.